Welcome to the Banter at the Counter podcast here at Phone Savers in Killarney. I'm John Lynch and I'll be bringing you fun and insights from everyday customers, inspiration from entrepreneurs and from my own life journey. So come on in and join me as I deep dive into the secrets of life and success. Thanks for joining us on this podcast, and this podcast is called Be Obsessed or Be Ordinary. I suppose, look, I just want to thank you first for joining us on our podcast on Banter at the Counter this year. And I just want to say thanks, and amidst all this COVID upheaval, we really do appreciate it, and we just think and hope that you got something out of it all. And just to recap on the whole thing, looking at these episodes and looking back on them, it's been all about change. And the messages were to embrace, your fears and your anxieties and go for what you want. And there were different perspectives on the podcasts. Some were like very successful people coming out of business and for various reasons, or out of sports or out of pursuits that they were obsessed about and that they loved. And then, going into mainstream sort of life and still having that mindset of maybe helping people or rejoining their families and things like that. So I suppose it's follow what you love is the underlying message. And as well as that, we had Maura talk about her start of her life and the journey that entailed, and also the challenges that she met starting out in life, So it's about, for me, you can't put an old head on young shoulders. So, if you could just grasp that it's like one life that you have one chance. You don't get another chance, really. It's a dress rehearsal. You could say it isn't. So, it ain't. And you just have to grab your chances. And, we all have dreams and things like that. Hopefully you have your dreams written out, what you want to do. And I, for one, do that. I write out what I want to do in the year ahead and my projections and my hopes and my dreams for the future. And I write out all them aspects. I get a bit of paper and I drill down into these various things in life: wealth, relationships, hobbies, what you want to do in your spare time, if you have any. I really don't. I work 7 days a week, 24/7, you could say, nearly. And I love it. And I don't apologise for it. And people think it's all about money. Yeah, money's great. That's fine. Everybody wants to be financially secure, you could say, but that's not everything. It buys you more freedom, and for me, it just gives you more opportunities to maybe invest in different areas, different businesses or whatever, if I can. I enjoy the whole journey of it, I enjoy creating projects, seeing them through, making them work. I'd be sort of tenacious in that respect. But what I have learned a lot through my different pursuits is that it takes action. Dreams, without action can turn into nightmares. They can bug you every day of the week. Especially if you have them in your sights and you really feel passionate about reaching these goals. And if you don't take action, it can really fester. It can make you unhappy, I think. So action is what it's all about. If there's one thing it comes down to, it's taking action and focus, action. And what I have discovered is really, I have negative thinking. And it hits me now and again, but not as bad as it used to be, you could say. But what I've learned is if you do the right action, no matter what the head tells you to do, eventually the negative thinking is proved wrong and it dies off, It's made redundant by a positive outlook. And some people say if you do positive things for 21 days, it becomes a habit. Maybe, yeah, that could ring true, Certainly be open, have an open mind and try different things. Have a mentor, whoever it may be, For me, it was maybe Richard Branson, Nelson Mandela, Bill Cullen. I read his book when I started out, A Long Way from Penny Apples. That inspired me a lot. Obviously, Shane McCarthy was on the podcast there. And if you haven't heard Shane, hit him up there on the podcast, banteratthecounter.com, and listen to Shane. Shane's a young gun, and he talks a lot about startups. And I suppose if you're young there, and you're just starting out in business, join a group, be with like-minded people. They say you're the average of the 4 people you hang out with. So join a group, an entrepreneurial group. I've joined one in this new year, and I hope to be part of that going forward, and meet with like-minded people. Gravitate towards who you enjoy making business with. I think, that's where it is for me. It's not all seriousness. If it's all serious, I wouldn't be doing it. There's a great joy to be had and great triumphs to be had. And little successes, I shoot for. And one thing I have learned during my business is do the one big thing a day that can push your dreams or your business forward. And just sit down, write out your plan, obviously, for your life, and for the next 10 years and for the next year. And you will have negative thinking coming up. And when you write down your dreams and aspirations, because that's par for the course, it'll sabotage. It'll try and sabotage you, So write them out, follow your dreams, do the right actions no matter what it tells you to do. And you'll see the fruits of it. And go for your goals every week. Write them out. Have a daily, maybe half an hour in the morning have a diary and just go through the day one. Put it down what you hope to achieve during the day. Maybe the night before, I write out things that come to me the night before that I need to do the next day, and I write them out in case I forget them. And I've discovered when you write them out in a list, going into the next day, you could get done in half an hour what normally takes you fumbling around the place trying to remember what you need to do the next day. That could take 3 hours. You could get 3 hours work done in half an hour. And another thing I've learned is embrace problems. There are no problems, only solutions. Problems inherently are gold, you could say, especially in business. Some people try to duck behind the parapet and stick their head in the sand and ignore these issues and these problems that present to them. Basically, their strategies are probably wrong in business too, because if your strategy isn't right, problems arise from that, I think. And having a strategy is very important. Having goals are important, but you have to have a strategy in there to work with. And that will basically ruffle up the problems and have a look at them, face them fully, embrace them, especially if you're in sales. Embrace the problems. They're full of potential learning for you and the client. And if the client sees you embracing problems that they have or that you have with them and that you're working with them with, it's a relationship that's worked and it bears fruit that way, You're both winning that way then. Even if you get nothing out of it financially, you've struck up a good relationship with that person, with that business associate, if it's B2B, with that other business, that they remember, You never know where these things end up, where this person will be important in your business. It might join you in a business career, they might go in a venture with you. You don't know. So just embrace the problems, be open, make good connections in business, and also write down your ideas. Bring a little notepad with you and write down the little ideas that you have. I use the notepad on my Apple iPhone. You can do that on Android too. I'm sure they have notes in there. Just write them down and keep them there, and go through them maybe every Sunday. Sit down, have a cup of coffee, and it's enjoyable to go down and rate your ideas, rate them 1 to 10. And maybe fit them into your strategies, your business strategies. For me, be obsessed or be ordinary is really like I'm all in on business. That's the way life is at the moment. I don't apologise for it. I'm really happy that way. And that can change, of course, as well. You don't know what life is going to bring you. But as I say, going forward, it's a new year, 2021. We're going to probably have COVID around for another few months. And yes, is it difficult? It is. As I say, it's a problem, right? You maybe have to work at home. Your life has to be readjusted. You might have to office at home. These are opportunities. For me, I've taken the last year. I was unwell for this time last year. I was very unwell, and I'm grateful to be alive, to be honest. Also, I took that time out when I was unwell to drill down into various business aspects I wanted to learn about. And they really bared me fruit this year. I rehauled my business. I rehauled my total outlook on my business plan. I started this podcast as well. I researched that. I learned all about that, and I finished a podcast course. And that's important too. Keep learning. Be it a book or a course, keep learning. Meet people, like-minded people that are on the same journey. To have that going forward, where you want to embrace the ideas and carry them with you. It's really important to have that positive outlook, to follow those dreams and those goals that you might have. The COVID thing is difficult. It's there for everybody in all walks of life, but it's a problem again, right? But I turned it round I said, well, okay, my life isn't the way it is. I can't go to my business, to my shop anymore. So I said, okay, I'm going to work from home, learning, readjusting things that aren't working. I suppose I took it as a stock take. stock take is you look at the stuff that isn't working in your life and you keep the stuff that is working. You don't have to touch the stuff that is working because it's working. It's selling, Various ideas or concepts you have about business that are working, they're selling. You don't have to replace them goods or those concepts and ideas. So the erroneous ones, the ones that aren't working for you, the ones that don't produce fruits, the ones that are stopping you moving forward, that are sapping up your time, you get rid of those ideas and you replace them with new ones, And it's a great time to reflect and have a look. Some people might find it difficult to sit down because maybe they're running around preconditioned, I call it, from various aspects of their life, and preconditioned to being busy all the time because they might be avoiding certain issues. And I won't go into the psychological aspect of everything, but really, if you can't sit with yourself in your own company and be happy with your own company, there could be underlying problems there, There could be avoidance issues, they call it, I think. But just be wary of that stuff. I'm really happy with my own thoughts, with the way I am. I've done a lot of work on that. And I would actually as well say that to invest in yourself is the greatest investment you'll ever make in your entire life. You are your greatest asset. Not the BMW, not the big house, not the holidays on the beach in Mallorca or whatever it might be, or going to Paris every weekend. That ain't it. You are your greatest asset. If you're not spending something on yourself, to educate yourself, to go on a retreat, to buy books that might educate you, even putting time aside for your growth and for your reflection, you're not really going to make it, I don't think. And I wouldn't really want to be in business with someone that doesn't value themselves. I really wouldn't. I'd feel more secure, more at ease with someone that really, really values themselves, not in an arrogant way, but that is a healthy individual that knows how life works, that knows how other people tick. It's a given that's needed in life, especially if you're working in HR, that's really a given. You have to have those capabilities, I enjoy my business the way it is. I enjoy my life the way it is, but I don't keep it the way it is. I keep pushing myself forward, not crazily, but enjoyably in various pursuits that I enjoy doing. This at the moment is not work for me. Sharing things that work for me with other people. I'm not getting paid for this. This is my own time at home. I'm at home now. It's New Year's Day and Happy New Year as well. I forgot to everybody, just to wish you that. And I really do from the bottom of my heart. I hope you have a really great year. And taking that time out to do something I love. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to have to be alive to do it and to have the finances to put this in place as well. I can't wait to get back to work. And just another thing, if you're the type of person that is employed and thinking of going into business, maybe you probably know about this, but if you're the type of person that is in a job or maybe left a job, if you have these things going on in your head where you basically couldn't wait for Fridays and you hate Mondays, give up your job. I would think to get another job in the meantime, look for another job while you're in that job, but I would say leave. You're not doing your employer any service and you're not doing yourself a service. If you're in a job that you hate, you're doing both of you out of money and career prospects, because you're not going to really get promoted in a job you don't like, or get a raise for that matter. Use your job that you're in to save money to invest in a business while you're thinking of creating your business. If you are in that area where you're in a job, you're in direct employment and you're thinking of starting your own business, I would advise you to save up some money, to be realistic about the business you're going to go into. You can dream big, that's fine. But if you come down from the clouds, it's important to have the big dreams. Otherwise, you won't have goals. Use them as bait to pull you forward. If they come true and you're after finding a unicorn, sure, that's mighty. The best of luck to you, wonderful. Have the big dreams, but as well pull yourself back down to the basics and put your strategy in place to reach that goal. Realistic strategies, what are they? They're ones where you push yourself beyond your limit, but not crazily. I wouldn't borrow massively unless it's a sure thing. A sure business. One little trick for a business idea to be fruitful, I think, it has to be something that's in demand, that people want. I wouldn't really be the type that creates something that I think they should want. I mean, Apple do that. They're the only company in the world that have ever said, we don't ask the customer what they want. We tell them what they want. You're not Apple. If you do become an Apple and you prove me wrong, please email me at info@thebanteratthecounter.com. and let me know that you have done it, because I really would like to have you on the show. if that did happen. So look, just think, what do people need? See a gap in the market. Carry that notebook around with you that I mentioned and write down anything that comes into mind. Remember, problems are opportunities. Problems are potential gold. Write down any problem you come across during your day. If you go looking for them, it might not be inherently genuine. You know, you might be creating something that hasn't got a commonality to it, that's not socially a problem that people need solved. So I would just look for problems that people have. It could be anything. It could be something crazy. You know, just write them down. So, you know, going forward from this, I just want to say great to have the opportunity to speak to you. When it comes to the aspects of chance and that are there for young people and old people, you're never too young and you're never too old. You can start the entrepreneurial journey or even the change of career any time in your life. You can train again. It's all there. Just mind that negative thinking, that stuff that wants to pull you down. And remember, that negative thinking sabotages over 90% of the population and they never achieve their goals. If you know that and keep that with you, you can say to yourself, oh yeah, nearly all the population is suffering that way. And, you know, it's a common thing. It's not something unique to me that I'm the only one inherently negative. It ain't the case. Everybody struggles with this. But I think the winners face their fears and they face their mental struggles and they push on. Not push on without due respect to yourself. Remember that self-care and that investing in yourself, you have to embrace that while you're pushing things forward and have the support you need. Hang around with good people, treat yourself well, exercise well. It's all part of the course of being successful, I think. And from me to you, you know, I really hope you have a successful year. And if you do have a mighty success, please get in touch with us at info@banteratthecounter.com. Please hit us up on www.banteratthecounter.com. And we're also on all the social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And I hope you tune in to the most amazing people we're going to have on the show. I have a few people lined up, and it's been a bit quiet with this COVID thing and New Year's and Christmas and things like this. But I just thought I wanted to get this opportunity to talk with you and share my few insights with you. And remember, it's all about pushing things forward. Be positive. You're the only one that can make change in your life. Freedom is scary and it's exciting. And going forward, making something from scratch is really the most inventive, creative thing you can do in business-wise, to come up with something unique and something that serves people as well, you know. Some business that you might come across in your little notebook there, you might find it very interesting and it might become just a winner. And if it is, please get in contact with us. Look, so all the best, and I wish you all you wish for in 2021. We hope you tune in with us then. Okay, so all the best from me to you. Take care. Well, folks, that's it. Unfortunately, we've reached the end of our show. Thanks for joining us and listening. And if you want to hear more from us, please subscribe to our podcast. And details on how to do that are on our Facebook page, Banter at the Counter, and soon on www.banteratthecounter.com. Also hit us up on Twitter and Instagram if you want to keep in touch. So until next time, mind yourselves, please stay safe and be positive.